welcome back to the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championships here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I am Chris Allen, joined by Sarah Bernstein. We're getting ready for our third match of the day, which will be a recurve men event, the 1/8 round. It is number 4 seed Sean McLaughlin versus number 13 seed Daniel McLaughlin. And if you picked up that those are the same last names, we do have a treat. These do happen to be twin brothers going against each other, with Sean being the 4 seed and Daniel being the 13th seed.
And what's interesting is I don't think that seed matter is going to really come into play with this, because the two brothers, you know, have grown up together in their Ohio locals, shooting very close to home, and they also, after graduating high school, both moved out to the Olympic Training Center together. They live there as resident athletes, and they shoot against each other as like a full-time job. So they go back and forth all the time, and it'll be definitely very interesting to see how this match progresses.
As in any sport, when you get two rivals that know each other well and know each other's styles well, the seeding does go out the window, as Sarah said, and that doesn't seem to be any different for archery as it is for any other sport that you may be familiar with. So this should be a fun match.
We did see the two just fist bump several seconds ago, so they, you know, are definitely staying amicable. You know, they'll definitely cheer each other on, because you don't want to win against someone who's not doing their best. So
yeah, I'm sure this will give them bragging rights for a few days at least, or until the next competition.
Yes,
they should. The winner should be in good shape.
And Daniel was the 13th seed yesterday, but he is actually heading out to Poland for the World Cup next week. So he's definitely looking to pull his scores back up. This match should be definitely good practice for him, as well as Sean.
With this being our third match of the day, this is obviously a unique dynamic that we're very fortunate to be able to see, with the twin brothers going against each other in the 1/8 round of the recurve men event here at the U.S. Open. Our first two matches of the day saw number 31 seed Ryan Fortenberry advance past Matt Hylant in the recurve men event, and in the 1/16 round for the recurve women, it was number 12 seed Michelle Gilbert from Maryland advancing over 21 seed Shuting Liu from Chinese Taipei. And just to add another dynamic to our third round match, the rain has started to fall, so that should make it interesting. As we previously had said, we don't...
I know Daniel specifically likes shooting in the rain, so this should be good for him, and everyone's going to run and get some rain gear on now.
And as previously mentioned, the rules in archery and the conditions, we won't stop play or competition shooting just for rain alone. It will only stop in case of thunder and lightning, so the archers will retreat, as Sarah said, to get their rain gear on, but there won't be a stoppage in the competition unless we see thunder and lightning. They don't expect this rain to last too entirely long, and it's a pretty good shower coming down right now. But these archers are semi-used to this, at least. This shouldn't be new for any of these competitors, and they will prepare accordingly.
And the rain does not seem to be scaring off spectators. We are gathering a little bit of a crowd back here as more of the matches are resolving, and archers stay to come and, you know, cheer on their friends.
And we do have the USA Archery tent very close to our camera lanes here, so that will make it easier for the other USA Archery competitors to come and watch their two teammates, who happen to be twin brothers, square off against each other in the 1/8 round of the recurve men's event. As Sarah said, Daniel doesn't mind shooting in the rain so much, so we'll see if that gives him any advantage over his brother Sean.
There is always, you know, the interesting dynamic competing between siblings, and I'm assuming even more so with twins. And, you know, I shoot at Columbia University, and my teammates are sisters, and they definitely, I think, are motivated to shoot even better just by, like, having that family member in competition there because, you know, who do you compete with more than like your siblings since birth? So.
Okay, and as we wait for the competitors to get ready for this 1/8 round of the men's recurve event, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to you from Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio, with the U.S. Open Archery Championship. To the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championship. I am Chris Allen, joined by Sarah Bernstein. We are in the recurve men 1/8 event. We do have the number 4 seed, Sean McLaughlin, against the 13 seed, Daniel McLaughlin, as the archers prepare to pull back their first arrow in the first set.
And again, this is set system, so they are shooting 3 arrows, and the highest score of each set will take 2 points. And if they tie, they'll each take 1, and the first to 6 set points will take the match to advance. So they're really, you know, one set does not determine the whole game, so it's anyone's shot. So.
And if you are watching the archers on the screen, you are not confused. They do look alike because they are identical twin brothers. So don't be confused. We do have that different dynamic right in this match.
And it looks like Daniel opened up the match with 2 9s and Sean with what appears to be a 9 and an 8. So, and Daniel with a 7 leaves Sean a nice gap to come in. And that's a 9, almost 10. So Sean will take the first set.
Okay, so as we wait, as the archers regroup and we wait.
Oh, that was lightning.
There is lightning in the distance.
Lightning will stop the competition, so we could be facing a potential 30-minute delay depending on.
So we will see how the judges decide to proceed. The rain did start coming down right before the 1/8 round. The archers did shoot their first set in the rain. The rain is letting up a little bit, but as Sarah said, we did see lightning in the distance, so we'll see how the judges decide to handle that.
Can only imagine what a rain delay would add to the anticipation of this match. There's got to be a lot going through those boys' heads right now.
And we get this. And there's the thunder to come along with them. So a little bit more lightning as we get the signal for the archers to approach their target to see how the scoring goes.
The judges are now passing out plastic bags to keep stuff dry.
If you are looking at the archers on your screen, that is the number 4 seed Sean McLaughlin in the red and his twin brother, the 13 seed Daniel McLaughlin, in the white. Seem to obviously be a little bit more cordial walking towards the target than some of the other competitors we've seen today.
It does look like there are clear skies on the other side of the field, though, so hopefully this won't last long, this weather.
Yeah, if we can be fortunate enough for it to move around us, we can continue this event, the day, and more importantly, the match we're looking at right now, the 1/8 match between twin brothers Sean and Daniel McLaughlin, who are from California, Ohio, so not too far away from here at all. A little bit of a homecoming.
They are from Westchester, Ohio. They live in California currently at the Olympic Training Center. So yes, California and Ohio, where you get a lot of different, training opportunities because, of course, California is nice weather year-round, and it's a little bit more variable out here.
Okay, and the brothers are now pulling their arrows and making their scores official. Daniel conveniently forgets to reset his scoreboard to leave the 6 up there.
That in archery is what we call the walk of shame, when you have to return to the target after forgetting to do something. So Respectfully, spectators are not doing a slow clap right now.
I'm sure that just gives Sean even more ammo to talk to his brother about after taking the 2-0 lead after the first set.
It does look like the rain has started to stop, so hopefully this match will continue.
We see Team USA watching on as two of their members compete. As the archers come by us back to their lines to prepare for the next set. Sean McLaughlin does have a 2-0 lead after set 1 over his brother Daniel McLaughlin.
Our spectator crowd does include other resident athletes who live out at the training center with Daniel and Sean. We have Ariel Gibalaro, as well as Lauren Clayman, who is nearby to the training center as well. Other spectators, we have Daniel and Sean's parents.
Okay, so as the crowd builds and we wait for the archers to take their next set, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here to Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio for the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championships. Welcome back to the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championships here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I am Chris Allen. Just to let everyone know who's watching, the judges have decided to take a 30-minute weather delay. So we will have a 30-minute break at least here on the field as the competitors all take cover from inclement weather that's in the area. We will return in 30 minutes to pick up the match with the second set in the recurve men's 1/8 round with 4-seed Sean McLaughlin versus 13-seed Daniel McLaughlin. And we will be back in 30 minutes, hopefully, as soon as the weather allows. And welcome back to the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championships here in Hamilton, Ohio at Joyce Park. We just finished up with a little bit of a weather delay, but the weather has cleared up. We're going to get going here in probably about the next 10 minutes. They expect the competitors to start warming up and get back to the competition. Just to catch you up, we are in the middle of a 1/8 round match between number 4-seed Sean McLaughlin and 13-seed Daniel McLaughlin, with Sean currently having a 2-0 lead in the race to 6. So we are coming back from the weather delay shortly. I'm Chris Allen here with Sarah Bernstein. We'll be back with you as soon as the competition gets going. And welcome back to the 2014 U.S. Open Archery Championship here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I'm Chris Allen, joined by Sarah Bernstein. We're in the middle of the 1/8 round match between 4-seed Sean McLaughlin and 13-seed Daniel McLaughlin, with Sean having a 2-0 lead. We are in the middle, starting the second set.
This is official practice. After a delay like this, they'll give it a few ends of practice. So this does not. Is my mic not on?
I don't think. Just turn them up.
I'm not.
Okay, as Sean McLaughlin and Daniel McLaughlin are practicing as we come out of this weather delay. We are not starting this next set yet. Sean still does have a 2-0 lead.
After a delay like that, you know, archers will start to get stiff, so they'll give them a few ends of practice to get back warmed up. The time limit is still the same, but they can shoot as many arrows as they want.
Okay, it does look like they're taking full advantage. He just gave the signal. Looks like the archers. Archers will now go down and collect their practice arrows.
Hi, Sean. No, that's his happy face. You just can't tell. Like, neither of them has. Oh.
So the practice round here is continuing coming out of this weather delay. Weather delay was a little bit over an hour and a half. In that time, I'm sure Sarah said the archers got stiff, so this practice time will help them loosen back up, get ready to compete again.
Yeah, when there's a delay of over an hour, they generally will give a courtesy warm-up period, so the archers are getting 2 ends to get their sights set again, get back into their form, warm up a little bit. The time limit will stay the same, still 1 minute and 20 seconds, but they can shoot as many arrows as they can get off in that time.
Okay, and we do have the match between twin brothers, Sean McLaughlin and Daniel McLaughlin, and if you're seeing them on your screen, Sean is in the red and Daniel is in the white. Currently, Sean leads the match 2-0 after the first round of arrows. So they'll get one more warm-up / practice round before the official scoring starts again.
They stayed in their competitive mindset during the break, playing video games against each other. So they're ready.
Curious if we get to talk to the winner on what their bets are when they shoot against each other.
It's very common in archery to make ice cream bets. You know, loser buys ice cream.
Ice cream, that's a nice
safe
family bet.
Most archers enjoy ice cream, is my experience.
I think most announcers also enjoy ice cream. So this is our third match of the day. It is the 1/8 round of the recurve men U.S. Open Archery Championship here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I think we should be past the weather delays. Got our fingers crossed for the day. There's a slight chance of rain moving forward a little bit later, but nothing that would cause delays, as the tournament will continue through rain as long as there's no thunder and lightning.
Archers will shoot in any weather conditions except for thunder and lightning, but you know, heat, fog, snow, rain will be out there.
The wind seems to be coming and going. The flags over the target seem to be pretty stiff right now. So that's something that the archers will have to consider even in the practice round.
It'll help them get a feel of what to expect going into the competition as that starts back up again.
And they just gave the signal for the second set of practice arrows.
Almost synchronized shooting over here. It'd be cool if that was a sport. And we'll see Daniel just set down the arrow and then picked it back up to shoot again. A lot of times if an archer feels like something might not be right in their shot, they'll put it down and start over, because if you get up at full draw and you know your arrow's not going to be a 10, there's not that much point in shooting it. Especially when every arrow counts as much as it does right now.
As they continue to practice shooting, trying to get in as many arrows as they can in that minute and 20-second period that they're allotted. Looks like Sean might be done, and Daniel looks like he's going to shoot another one.
Daniel is getting nice groups these past two practice ends, so we'll see if that carries over.
And that's the end of the second warm-up set, so the archers will retrieve their arrows and get ready to go to live scoring. Okay, and now it's time to get back to the live scoring here at the U.S. Open Archery Championship. We do have the 1/8 match between the number 4 seed Sean McLaughlin and the number 13 seed Daniel McLaughlin. This is the second set of arrows. Sean does have a 2-0 lead.
They did lift up in perfect synchronization again. Daniel, let's go first. It's a 9-8 liner, probably a 9, and more of a definite 9 for Sean.
Okay, and as you can probably hear, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit, so we'll see how that affects the archers.
It's another 9 for each of them, so this third arrow will determine the set. Both brothers were aggressively adjusting their sights during the practice, so the wind has definitely changed the way the arrows are flying. It's an 8 for Daniel. And it looks like a 10 for Sean, so Sean will take a 4-0 lead, most likely. We'll wait for the official call on that. Daniel is taking some coaching advice right now.
We have other team members from Team USA over watching, as well as interested parties, just to see, I think, see twin brothers compete against each other. It's drawn a little bit more of a crowd than we had for our first two matches. A little extra storyline intrigue to this match.
And again, this is, close to home for both brothers. They live, nearby and have their entire family here. And
I'd assume that it's a treat for the families to be able to come down and watch them compete, especially against each other, with the brothers now living in California and not getting to compete in front of their family very often. So we'll wait as the brothers head towards their targets to see if Sean did indeed take that 4-0 lead over brother Daniel.
so there are indicators on the field of the wind. There's obviously the flags on top of each target, and there's also wind socks about halfway down, but it's definitely interesting to be an archer on the shooting line and you can feel the wind blowing one direction and see it blowing another further down the field and not really know exactly which cues to read, and it's definitely a tricky part of the sport to be able to read the wind and figure out how to adjust and where to aim. Shooting yesterday, the conditions were fantastic. There was very little wind, and that definitely gave some archers a definite advantage. But today, it's a lot of the game is understanding how to read the wind and figure that out.
Okay, and as Sarah predicted, it does in fact look like Sean won that set as well. So he does take a 4-0 lead over twin brother Daniel in the race to 6. So if he, with another round, as the first two, he'll close it out. Here, we spoke earlier in the last match when Michelle Gilbert fell behind, of how she didn't want to fall behind 4-0 because that's a completely different mindset. So what's Daniel going through with that mindset now that he has to face it?
Well, if he doesn't get these next 3 arrows in, then he is out for the whole day. And I know he has really high hopes riding on this competition, so he's definitely going to have to pull his game together and make sure he gets 3 down there in the gold, and hope it's enough to stay in the game. Sean definitely can be a little bit more relaxed right now.
It does look like there's a little less conversation going on between the brothers walking back this time. Obviously, Daniel sensing a little bit more urgency as he prepares for this next round to try to stay in the set. Guess if we see the winner walking around later with the big ice cream cone, we know that you were correct about the ice cream bet. I'm sure the winner will also have a smile to go along with the ice cream. So as we get ready for this third and maybe deciding set, again, if you're watching the competition, that is Sean in the red and Daniel in the white. They are twin brothers. You're not seeing things.
I still have high hopes for that 1 arrow shoot off.
We are hoping to see that at some point. This is our third match of the day. We haven't got there yet. Close the first match, but didn't get there.
It's always exciting in recurve archery when they're scoring these matches. They do the set system where the win takes 2 points and a tie, they each get 1, and it's a race to 6 set points. But if they hit that 5-5 mark, it does go to 1 arrow shoot off, where 1 arrow determines the entire match. So it's always fun to watch.
Okay, as we see Daniel getting some coaching. And there's this signal for the archers to approach the line for this third set. Daniel looking to extend the match.
They really do have that synchronization going on today. It looks like it's a 9 for Daniel and an 8 for Sean, so
it's the right direction. It's where Daniel needs to be.
He definitely needs to keep these 3 in the gold. Wow, and that is a solid 10, just out of dead center in the target. And another 8 for Sean, so this set is looking good for Daniel.
As they approach they pull their last arrow for this set.
It can be dangerous when you start out with a good lead and you get a little bit overconfident, so hopefully he'll keep a clear head for this shot. And he finishes with an 8. And Sean also with a 10 in the X ring, so the match looks like it will continue. But really strong shooting from both brothers.
Okay, so we'll wait for him to approach the targets for the official score, but looks like we might get another round between the brothers. again, compared to the first two matches we saw today, this one has definitely drawn more of a crowd. First two matches were mostly just coaches. This has definitely more people.
You'll also find in archery a lot of times, like as the matches progress and more people are, retiring from the competition, instead of just like leaving the field when they're done, there is that camaraderie, and they'll come and cheer for their friends and stick around. You'll find the McLaughlin brothers are definitely crowd favorites in the U.S. archery community. Friends with a lot of people.
And again, I notice much less talking between the brothers as they approach the target this time than, say, the first time, the first round when they approached. So it's definitely getting closer to the end and closer to one of them moving on.
And it definitely seemed a lot friendlier the first set.
Yeah, it's getting a little more serious now, I think. Also, if you were following online with the electronic scoring, they have decided not to use that the rest of the day. So if you were trying to follow up on that or use the link that Sarah gave out earlier, your computer's now broke. They have decided not to use that the rest of the day today. So we'll keep you updated on the scoring as it comes up and give it to you as soon as you can.
You can follow updates from the field on USA Archery's Facebook and Twitter page as well.
So it looks like Daniel will in fact score. And he did win that round. So it is now 4-2, Sean, as Daniel stays alive. Going to the fourth set. So extend it a little bit and give Daniel a chance to get right back in this match after that round of 3 arrows. Definitely more serious looks on the brothers' faces. This time they don't even walk back together.
But Daniel has a little smile, so.
A little smile for us as he walks past us. Feeling good, hopefully probably.
Gotten a little confidence back. There's still that pressure, if he loses this set, the match is over. So he needs to win to stay in it.
Daniel goes back to conversing with his coach a little bit. Looks like Sean's also getting a little bit of instruction. Definitely seems more conversational for Daniel and his coach. As it looks like Sean's getting more instruction and a little less conversational.
And they say when you get to a competition like this, if you didn't bring it with you, you're not going to find it there. So they're probably not getting that much technical advice and just, working on their mental game and staying focused.
We wait for the whistle to start the next set.
And of course, neither of these boys is lacking in technical skill. Like, they're shooting really strong scores and great performances out here. It's just, who's holding it together a tiny bit better.
How have their groups looked? Are there?
I think they're really tight considering the weather conditions and everything. They're doing a great job.
Okay, the wind has died down for a second, at least around us, even though it does still look like the flags around the targets are blowing a little bit stiffer than what we feel. Not too far from
them. There are 10 scoring zones on the target, and the lowest we've seen someone shoot is a 7, and very rarely at that, so the level of competition here is definitely very high. Makes it more exciting.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what sport you're playing. The more scoring, the better. And there's the signal, so we're going to start the fourth set. Sean with a 4-2 lead over his twin brother Daniel.
A 9 for Daniel and what looks like a 10 for Sean.
Sean again trying to close it out here and not take it to what would be a fifth set.
And of course Daniel's just hoping for that fifth set. Looks like another 9 for Daniel. Ooh, and an 8 for Sean, bringing their scores up for this set to a tie. This last arrow will decide if Daniel is retiring or continuing for at least another set. Oh, that's a 10-9 liner for Daniel. Looks like it could be a 10, but we'll have to wait for the official call on that. Oh, and another 10-9 liner for Sean. Looks like it's a 9 though, so
okay, and
this match is potentially brought back up to a 4-4 tie. Neither of the brothers is, shaking hands yet, so they're definitely still waiting for an official call on that too, or they know the set's continuing the match.
The crowd shows their appreciation for the skilled shooting of the twins. Is that set ended with a round of applause. So we'll wait for the archers to approach the target to see if we will indeed head to a fifth set.
It's definitely very impressive for there to be that much talent in one family, but that seems to be a trend in archery. There are a lot of families where, the talent's there. It kind of seems to run through. We have the Trafford family out here shooting, and every member of that family is incredibly talented and well-traveled in archery, and the Wild family over on the compound side as well.
Yeah, it probably does help being brothers when you grow up and get to compete against each other. You can hone your skills that way. You can become better that way. You always have competition around. And obviously you always want to be the better of the siblings. I think that's universal in everything, not just in archery or even in sport. So we'll see here if Daniel was indeed able to carry the match to the fifth set. Maybe our first one arrow shoot off would appropriately be between two twins.
And Sean does have the tighter group, but it's a little bit low right, so Daniel might have taken this one.
And it does indeed look, our judge is heading back this way, so he must not think it's over because he did not signal a winner.
So we must be continuing, yep.
And Daniel is scoring. So Daniel did win that set. So we will go to a fifth set for the second time today. It'll be tied 4-4.
No matter who wins this match, it has definitely been a very close race with very excellent shooting.
So we will head to a fifth set here, try to determine a winner. Sarah said if they tie, we will go to a one arrow shoot off.
I really hope they tie.
A little bit of a smile on Daniel's face again, scoring the last 4 points. A little bit more serious look on Sean's face. Doesn't look to be too happy having to go to a fifth set, even against his brother. So as the brothers reset, we'll get ready for this fifth set. Could be a deciding set, unless of course they tie. But looking to move on to the next round. And as Sarah said before, the seeds really don't matter in this round when you're going up against a sibling. Seeds mean nothing.
Yeah, they shoot, head to head all the time. This is like nothing new. So, sometimes you come up and you're like intimidated by a competitor who like has shot better scores specifically the day before and whatever, but I don't think that's really coming into play at all right now.
I think
they're definitely
sibling bragging rights are probably more important
than the rankings. Both brothers are out at the Olympic Training Center right now, looking towards Rio 2016 already. Definitely on both of their minds right now.
Again, looks like they both take a little bit of time with their coaches. Could be the fifth deciding set. There's the whistle, so the archers are approaching the line. See if we can get this to shoot off, or if one of the brothers is going to take it down right here. And that's Sean in the red, Daniel in the white.
Hopefully, did not wear matching uniforms today. Alright, Daniel opens with a gold. Looks like a 9. Also what looks like a 9 for Sean. Looks like I might get my shoot off.
Third of the way to the shoot off.
Daniel with a 9-8 liner. It's a little close to call from back here. Just inside the 9 for Sean.
Okay, so it'll come down to this last arrow.
The pressure is definitely on for both brothers. You can see it in their faces. Daniel with a 9. Sean with a 10.
Okay, and the crowd is showing their appreciating for the shooting they just saw. The crowd actually grew between the second and third, or the fourth and fifth sets rather. And the brothers are shaking hands. The coaches.
Sean will advance.
So it does look like Sean McLaughlin, the 4 seed, will outshoot his brother Daniel, the 13 seed, to be moving on. Of course, we'll wait for the official sign from the judge, but again, the brothers and the coaches have already shaken hands. Looks to be just a formality at this point. So in archery, Sarah, is it similar to other sports where it's worse to lose by 1 at the end than it is to get blown out and have your heart crushed, or you think 6-0 is easier than 6-4 and the 5th set to your brother?
I think 6-4 is almost better because, at least you put up a really good fight. You don't want to have been like shut out and feel like you didn't put your best into it. It's nice when you definitely did your best and it was close, and I don't think Sean should go home too disappointed after shooting like that. Oh, I mean Daniel. Sorry. Sean should not be disappointed at all.
Sean won't be disappointed. He'll be moving on to the next round. And
the next match for Sean will be really interesting because, he was the 4th seed yesterday and he'll be going against the 5th seeded archer from yesterday, so that'll definitely be another tight, close match. Assuming the brackets have been followed. And the 5th seed from yesterday was Colin Klimichek, who is another resident athlete, trains with the brothers all the time. They all live out in California together. So
this is the 1/8 round again of the recurve men competition here at the U.S. Open Archery Championships from Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. We are waiting for the official score, which we just got, and as Sarah said, and we thought, Sean is moving on. So Sean McLaughlin with a 6-4 win over brother Daniel, taking him out of the competition, retiring him, and Sean moving on to the next round.
The wind is picking back up as we head into the quarterfinals, so as we look down the field, for those of you who are curious, the women's recurve event, this was the 5th set, and it looks like all archers were still shooting, so we must have had some close matches over there.
So the brothers are walking and actually still not talking to each other, but they've already shaken hands, and Sean does look to be a little less serious now, though still short of smiling. So they got their scorecards in hand. So Sean McLaughlin advancing over brother Daniel 6-4 in 5 sets. So as the rest of the field goes to some shoot-offs, we'll wait for our next recurve match over here. And while we wait for our next competitors, we will take a break. We'll be right back with you here at the U.S. Open Archery Championships in Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio.